everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. We're in front of the Christmas tree today because I just put it up and so I figure I can now film all my videos in front of it. So today I'm going to be filming a blind date with a book vlog. I say today, it's going to take me a couple of days to film this, I expect, if not more, but for you, it'll just be a few minutes. So I've seen a few booktubers do this and I really wanted to do it. I just think it's such a cute idea. So I picked this blind date with a book up from Garden of Grace UK, so from Etsy. So I will link them down below. I've never purchased anything from them before, but hopefully I will like the book. It did say in the description of the video that you could check out the personalization option, where I guess you could probably put a link to your Goodreads so they could make sure you didn't get a book duplication, but I didn't actually see that on the listing, and so I wasn't able to put a link to my Goodreads, and therefore I may already have this book, so we'll see. But the reason I decided to go with this shop is because this was specifically a Christmas romance and I thought that that would be really good for this time of year. The book is absolutely beautifully packaged. All of them are packaged slightly differently. This one I feel like is a little bit less sort of traditional festive than some of the ones that are on the Etsy listing. It's a bit more of a sort of neutral colorway, but still very cute. It's obviously beautifully packaged. I love the stamp in particular because I can't remember the designer of these fairies, but we used to be obsessed with these, me and my mum, when I was younger, and I had like a book that I always had at my nan's which had all of the fairies in it, so I absolutely love they've got that, so I will try and save that. And it's obviously got all these different like things as part of it and it's all wrapped up beautifully. It also came with a Galaxy's hot chocolate that was like tucked in as well. Hot chocolate is the one thing I really wish I drank. I don't drink any hot drinks, I don't drink any alcohol, but I really wish that I did drink hot chocolate. I just love the idea of it. But every time I have a hot drink, I just think, why wouldn't you just rather have a smoothie? That's what I want right now. But yeah, so we've got this beautiful like tag that says blind date with a book. It also comes with a bookmark. I think this is the bookmark here. So this is a bit smaller than traditionally the bookmarks I use, so I may not use this, but it is still very cute. And then, oh perfect, we've got a little business card for them here. So I will show you that. So that is the business card, but as I said, hopefully I'll remember to link them down below. It's also got like stickers and wrapping on it. So that's just so cute. It's so beautifully packaged. So I just wanted to make sure I like film that in detail because obviously once I open this, I can't undo it. But I think it is time for us to see what book I got in this package. So I don't know how easy I'm going to find this to open on camera, but we will see. It's like, oh, it feels horrible to open something this beautifully packaged. Okay, so just to give you a close up there without the ribbon on. Okay, so I'm very interested to see what kind of Christmas romance this is, because a lot of the Christmas romances that I have are kind of like UK Christmas romances. This shop is in the UK, so I'm expecting it to be that kind of book, so we'll see. You did have the option to select new or pre-loved as well. I did select new just because I personally prefer to have new books, but there is the option for pre-loved as well. Okay, moment of truth, here we go. The Christmas Wedding Guest by Susan Mallery. That is such a gorgeous cover. Okay, nice. So I'm going to read the blurb to you because we're in vlog mode. So, a Christmas to remember. A year since she was dumped by her fiance, the last thing Reggie Somerville wants is to come back home for Christmas. But when her parents announce their plans for a lavish Christmas wedding, she has no choice. She expects to face town gossip. She does not expect to run into her first love, Toby, or deal with the feelings he stirs on her. Okay, so we've got a second chance romance here. Love that. Dina Somerville is single and pregnant on purpose. Wanting a family her way, she's determined to do it alone. She didn't expect the distraction of a handsome musician checking into her inn and one snow-kissed moment to make her question what she really wants this Christmas. As the Christmas wedding draws closer, these two sisters may just find the most unexpected gift of all, love. This is very me. I'm so excited. This is so me. So I don't often read romances that have two love stories going on at the same time. I kind of prefer to stick with one character. So I've been avoiding purchasing books that cover multiple characters, but this one I love both the ideas of the story, and I'm very interested to read this. I think this is such a good choice for me. I'm really excited for this vlog. Okay, so my plan is that I'm going to read this and I'm going to be kind of taking you along, giving you my thoughts as we go through the video, and then letting know what I think of the book at the end. So let's get into it. So it is Sunday, the 11th of December at like 11:30. So I am 100 pages into the Christmas Wedding Guest. I forgot what the book is called. So I thought I would give an update. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think this author is a really good writer. She's very popular, it turns out. There's like, you know, her bio bit at the beginning, and she's written a fair amount of books. And I think that, you know, as someone who's read a fair amount of romances in my life, this is definitely well read. The four perspectives is interesting because we don't just get the sisters' perspectives, we get the love interest perspectives as well. There is a lot of backstory for all four characters, and you get hints at it at times, but you don't get the full story, and then you get the full story kind of drip to you throughout the book, which is interesting. You sort of feel a little bit like you're unnecessarily waiting at times. It's a little bit of like, why don't you just say what the issue is? But she'll kind of be like, oh, but so and so put it out of his mind or put it out of her mind. So that's like a little strange and kind of frustrating, but I've reached, because I'm at the 100-page mark, I'm getting like a good sense of all the characters' backstory now. There is a fair amount of history for both the love interests. Just to pre-warn you, there's like, I would say there are trigger warnings for what's going on with them too, so maybe just look that up if you are going to read this book. If you are a dog lover, you will probably love this more than any other romance, at least that I've read. It says in the author's intro that she writes dogs as, or like animals, she writes animals as characters in their own right. And Belle, which is the Great Dane in this book, is the like child of one of the sisters that we're following in this book, and she really is written like more of a fleshed out character than some of the other characters. She's like really up there in terms of character level, and she is very much treated as this character's child. So if you are someone that is like a dog parent, then you would probably like this element of the book as a non-dog parent, but like as the best friend of dog parents, I can understand, like I can kind of see elements, though it feels, when you're kind of reading it in a book, it feels like a little bit far of the how much this dog engages in conversation with Reggie is sometimes feels a little bit odd, but I'm not a dog parent, so I'm sure if you are a dog parent you would enjoy this. So yeah, overall I am enjoying the book. I'm excited to read some more of it. I'm not sure when I'm going to get some more read because I'm supposed to be reading on my commute tomorrow, but it has snowed. I really don't like snow. Like, I really don't like it. I like snow if I'm inside and don't have to go out, but that's very rare. And the UK is in no way set up for snow. Like, everything stops, transport stops, road stops, just like the whole world falls apart when it snows. And I have a very important dermatology appointment tomorrow that I need to go to, and I have a blood test, and I am currently not sure how I'm going to be able to get to either of those. So that is really frustrating. So at the moment, I'm hoping that the trains are going to miraculously be fine, knowing full well there's no way they will be fine, because the trains here are never fine. Like, never fine. I'm kind of worried about that. I'm worried it's going to ruin my sleep. I've been sleeping really badly the last week or so. I'm like waking up in the middle of the night from like really anxious nightmares and stuff. So I have a feeling that tonight is going to be like that. So I'm hoping that if I can read a little bit more before I sleep, it will make me tired enough at least I won't think about it while I'm falling asleep. And I'm feeling tired now, so I think it will be fine. And then I'm just gonna have to just deal with whatever comes up tomorrow and just hope everything is going to be okay, but we will see. So anyway, that's my update for today. So I don't know when I'll read more. Ideally, I need to finish this in the next day so it can go up as a vlog. I think that's really optimistic. I'm about 25% of the way through the book, I think Goodreads said. So it would be great if I could just, you know, read 3/4 of the book tomorrow, but I have no time to read tomorrow. Because I'm also, after my appointments, supposed to be going to the cinema with my parents to see After Sun, but I'm just not sure how achievable any of this is going to be. We'll see. I love snow. So yeah, I'll update you when I've read a bit more. Hello, it is Thursday the 15th of December. I started this vlog Sunday, Monday, who knows? But it's been several days. I have finally finished work for Christmas. I cannot tell you how long this term has been. I think because I had my 2-week Florida holiday, I'm not complaining, but because I had my Florida holiday in September, I have done like October, November and December with no breaks, and work has been a bit rough, which I won't go into, but I probably needed a break. So I'm very glad it's Christmas. So I finished at midday today. How did I celebrate? I filmed 3 videos for VLOGMAS, obviously. So, and this is technically not part of number 4. But that's fine. That's what overachiever life is for you. So let me give you an update on where I am at with, what is this book called again? The Christmas Wedding Guest. It is looking very bashed up. It's not been very well protected in my rucksack. I do have a book cover, but this one is just not, it's not coping so well. I think the cover is made of something different and it's very bendable. Anyway, I'm on page 238, 39 of this book, so I'm a fair chunk through. I think I have about a third left, probably, and I'm still enjoying it. I don't really know what I'm going to rate it. Obviously, I don't really know what's going to happen at the end. It's quite slow going because you get the 4 stories, like the 4 perspectives. You get both of the sisters and then both of the love interests. And there's a lot of backstory for all 4 of them. And so you're kind of having to get through their backstory constantly and overcoming why they're taking a while to want to get into a relationship. In the case of all 4 of them, it's kind of all for different reasons. So there is a fair amount of backstory. So we're only really getting to action like now. So it's a little bit slow burny, but it's enjoyable. I think it's probably a 3.5 stars. Like, I'm having a good time. I don't think it's one of my favorite books ever, but like definitely enjoying it. It's very festive. I have to say, it's very festive. So the town that they're in is like a really, really Christmassy town, and everyone celebrates Christmas. There's like Advent thing. The center of the town is called the Wreath, and they're doing all these like good deeds for Christmas. There's going to be a Christmassy wedding. I don't know why this is called the Christmas Wedding Guest though. Well, I mean, there is a wedding at Christmas, but I guess because the guys will end up going with the sisters to the wedding. I'm not sure that's what I would have called this book. I'm not sure what I would have called it. Wishing Tree Christmas, that's what the town is called. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sure that the title is necessarily reflective of the story, but maybe it will be. Maybe it will be. I guess it's because they'll have +1s at the wedding, I guess. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a good festive time. It's quite hallmarky, which is exactly what I want this time of year. I'm having fun. So you can probably hear this because I think it's quite loud because our house echoes like that. So I'm running a bath now because it's about 8:30, 8:45. So I'm going to have a bath. I'm going to try and read this. I need to get through this book. I read like 3 books in December. I really need to finish this because all of my Vlogmas content was relying on me reading more. So I'm having to film other videos because I'm not getting through these. So I need to try and read this. It would be great if I could get through this soon, and I would love to just get through some more festive reads because I'm also not watching festive movies. And so I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm just filming Vlogmas content, and that's not really that fun. Like, it is fun, but also I do need a bit of a break, and reading should be a break. So hopefully I can get through this, get through some more books would be great. So at this point, I'll probably update you when I get to the end of this book, I would think, but hopefully I'll enjoy it. You know what will never cease to amaze me is that when I really put my mind to it, I can read quite fast. I think I read 100 to 150 pages of this. This is 400 pages, over 400 pages. Thankfully, it doesn't really look like 400 pages, but it is 400 pages long. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure I read 100 to 150 pages of this. I went in the bath at about 9 and then Stuart got home about 11. When I put my mind to it, I can read so much. Why don't I do it more? Okay, so I have finished my blind date with a book. So I think I can be more coherent about my thoughts now, because when I filmed the update before my bath, I hadn't read this in several days, and I'd kind of forgotten the things that I didn't love so much about this story until as soon as I was reading it. I was like, there were things I meant to say in the update that I didn't. So let me say them now. I actually don't like the writing as much as I thought I did. I think the reason that I said I like the writing is because I've read some books this year where I really haven't got on with the writing style at all. And to be fair, I do think in the main, Susan Mallery is a good writer. I think the book is well written. There's like, I didn't spot any grammar errors when it went to print, which is like the big bugbear for me in books. So from that respect, I think it's good. However, I do think some of the language in this is dated. For example, they refer to a female's sexual organs as girl parts, which I didn't like. Like, at least go with lady parts if you really have to, but I didn't like that. Particularly when his boy parts don't get referred to as that. I just thought that balance was weird. And the language in this is really gendered. This whole thing around Harrison, who is Toby's son. Have I even spoken about what the story's about? So we have two sisters, Reggie and Dina, and Reggie comes back to Christmas, the wishing, what's the town called? I don't know, Christmassy town. Insert Christmassy town name here. And comes back for the Christmas holidays to celebrate her parents' wedding. Her sister has chosen to have, basically be injected to have a baby without a man. Love that. All power to that. That storyline is actually very interesting. And then there's a rock star that is in town, and that's kind of who Dina, who's the other sister, kind of ends up in a thing with. And then there's Toby, who is Reggie's ex-boyfriend from high school, who kind of skipped out on her for no good reason, is back in town, has been there for a year, and Reggie kind of runs back into him. And Toby has a son called Harrison, and love Harrison. He's a great kid. Love the representation of him in this book. He's so cute. But there's a lot of obsession around finding a mum for him. A little bit less gendered language around a woman needing a man, which is contradicted by Dina not needing a man to have a baby. And so I like that. But in the Reggie story, it felt like it maybe came up a little bit too much. So that was just a little bit problematic for me. But as I say, it was contradicted by Dina's storyline, so that is useful. I also think these are real slow burn. Real slow burn. No smut. Very slow burn. With hint at smut throughout, like smut is going to happen. And then we get nothing. And I think this is another example. This is overgeneralizing, but I do feel like this is another example of a book where the author doesn't want to write a steamy scene, but they're told by the publishing house that steam sells, and so they sort of hint at it. And this one actually hints at it more than other books I've read. Like, we get close, but we don't go, it's not even closed door sex scenes, we just don't go there. To a point where you think, I don't understand why we're getting so much sexual language then. And we then also have the last couple of chapters, we get the wrap up of both the storylines, and we go from 0 to 100 in this very short space of time. And I think in one of the storylines, I'm more okay with it, in the like Reggie Toby storyline, but in the Dina Micah storyline, like, it's very cute and it's very romantic, but also it's very fast,
very fast, and I just didn't know what I thought about that. But saying all of that, I had a good time reading this. It gives me those Hallmark movie vibes of like everything kind of moves fast and the pacing's always a little bit weird. And I watch a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies, so I'm kind of here for that. And as I say, it was well written. I've read books this year that weren't. And yes, I had some problems with the language. There is quite a lot of repetition. It didn't need to be 400 pages. We easily could have cut 100. We get like a lot of the same thing over and over. But the bits when they're together, that fuzzy stuff, that's well written. And at the end, I was like quite upset about the Reggie storyline. I was like genuinely crying. And you're rooting for them. So yeah, in the main, I enjoyed this. I did. It reminds me a little bit of how I felt about It Happened One Summer, where I kind of felt like I shouldn't like it as much as I did, but I did enjoy it and had a good time. But ultimately, I want to read books where I'm having a good time. So I think I'm going to rate this 3.5 stars. I don't think it's a 4-star, but like 3.5, 3.75, something like that. Like maybe 4, somewhere around there. I had a good time. So in terms of whether I think that my date night with a book was a success, yeah, I do think it was a success. I'm never expecting I'm going to get a 5-star read necessarily, because I'm a harsh reviewer. And so most books I review are 3 stars. So if I get somewhere in the 3.5 and above vicinity, I consider that a win. This is absolutely the kind of book I would have picked up for myself. I still think the title does not make sense, so that would definitely be a downside. But yeah, in the main, I had a good time. I really enjoyed it. I loved not knowing what book I was going to get. I would definitely do this again. If you would like to see me do this again, please let me know about down below. I would probably go with the same place. I think they had a pretty good track record, pretty happy with that. They had a good range, so I could pick up another romance from there. I don't think I would pick up anything other than a romance though. I think it would be too risky. At least with a romance, I know I can just pick it up and get to it. And there's also a bookshop. It's not really that near where I work, which is why I never go there, but I've seen that they do blind date with a book there. So I am considering whether I could go there and get one, because I figure it would be nice to pick one up in person. But yeah, this was enjoyable. I had a good time. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this. I'm even more glad that I have finished it because now I can move on to some other content. But I really enjoyed this. I hope you did. If you did, I would massively appreciate a like and a subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Please do comment down below if you do want me to do this blind date with a book again, what you thought of this video. I'd love to hear it. I will also have a link in the description to the shop where I picked up this blind date book from. I'll have a link to my Goodreads, a link to my planning channel so you can check out the rest of my Vlogmas content, and a link to my Instagram, which I share across my planning and my booktube channels. And now it's like 11:30, so I'm gonna go get some sleep. See you in my next video. Bye.